It started with an audacious plan from the HOA. They decided to fill my lake with concrete to build a parking lot for their luxury neighborhood. Karen, of course, was at the center of it, directing crews and claiming she had permission under HOA regulations. I returned from errands just in time to see cement trucks dumping slurry into the lake, destroying wildlife habitats and turning clear water into a murky gray mess. I parked, stormed to the edge, and yelled, "Stop! This is my property. You have no authority to touch this lake." Karen turned, smirking. "Oh, it's just concrete. Think of it as property improvement." "You're welcome." I realized this was beyond negotiation. She wasn't just trespassing. She was actively destroying my property. I immediately called the sheriff and environmental authorities while documenting the entire scene. My security cameras captured every truck, every worker, and Karen herself directing the operation. The deputies arrived and quickly assessed the situation. Karen attempted her usual defense. "We're just following HOA rules. You can't stop community development." The lead deputy raised an eyebrow. "Ma'am, do you have legal ownership or permits to modify this private property?" Karen faltered. "Well, no. You are trespassing and causing environmental damage. Cease operations immediately." Karen's confidence crumbled. Within minutes, crews were halted, cement pumps stopped, and the site was secured. Environmental inspectors confirmed the HOA had no right to fill the lake, and that Karen and the board could face serious fines for their unauthorized construction. But I didn't stop there. Knowing that a passive approach wouldn't prevent future antics, I took proactive steps. I installed reinforced barriers around the lake, upgraded security cameras with motion detection, and posted signage stating, "Private property, no HOA or unauthorized access. Violators will face legal consequences." Then came the final twist. Since the HOA had effectively trespassed and attempted to construct illegal infrastructure, I legally claimed ownership of the disrupted project. They had invested in building a parking lot on my land, and I now had the authority to demand restitution or repurpose it entirely. With proper permits, I turned the partially filled lake area into a private conservation zone, protecting wildlife and water quality. Karen's plans had backfired spectacularly. Not only did she fail to assert authority, but her actions directly strengthened my control over the property. She faced citations for trespassing, environmental violations, and property damage. The HOA's credibility in the community plummeted, with neighbors questioning how their board could be so reckless. By the end of the month, the lake had returned to near original condition, the project permanently halted, and Karen had learned, again, that tampering with my property brought consequences far beyond her imagination. Trespassing wasn't just a minor inconvenience. It was a costly, humiliating, and legally punishable offense. My lake stood serene once more, a reminder that property rights were absolute, and that anyone foolish enough to ignore them, especially Karen, would face swift justice, both legally and socially.